So just start, feet hip width apart, outside edges of your feet straight, backing your weight up through your heels, so that our alignment is really nice. Finding that neutral pelvis, so we're not tucking our bottom under, we're not sticking it right out, kind of finding that happy spot where we're level pelvis, level rib cage, nice and wide through your chest and shoulders, and then we're going to hold the ball just down in front, hip height. All we're going to do to start with, nice and easy, is just raise that ball up to shoulder height and then lowering it down again. Let's inhale as we lift, and then exhale as you lower. Keeping your weight back through your heels. Good. We're just going to do 2 more like this. And then we're going to take it all the way overhead this time. So inhale, take the ball all the way up and over. And then exhale to come all the way back down. Still keeping your weight back through your heels. Trying to keep those ribs relaxed and down as you take your arms overhead. So watch for that tendency for your weight to shift forwards and your ribs to lift. 2 more. 1 more like that. And then lowering that ball all the way down. Bringing the ball to your chest now. We're going to just hold the ball cushion, whatever you've got, at your chest. Making sure that the pelvis is pointing forwards, those hip bones are pointing straight ahead, and we're going to twist our upper body. So take a breath in here, and as you exhale, we're going to twist as far as we can to one side. Inhale as you come back through centre, and exhale, twist to the other side. Again, inhale through centre, exhale, twist, feeling that movement through your waist, and twist as you exhale. We're going to do 1 more of these to each side. And then we're going to reach that ball out in front. We're going to hold the ball at shoulder height. We're going to do exactly the same here. Breath in and exhale, twist. Inhale through centre, exhale, twist. Really tempting now to twist your hips. Try and keep your hips pointing straight ahead. So we're twisting through our waist. Think about those rib cages twisting away from your pelvis. Really good. We're going to do 1 more to each side. Twist, and in, and twist. And in, lowering that ball all the way down. Just give your shoulders a little circle around there. We're going to take it into a side bend now. So we're going to take that ball up and overhead. Take a breath in here. And as you exhale, taking it over into that side bend. Inhale, coming up, grow really tall through centre. And exhale over to the other side. Inhale again, up through centre to grow tall, and exhale, take it over. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, over you go. Again, inhale, lift. Exhale, over. Again, we're going to do 1 more to each side. And then as you come in through centre this time, lowering that ball all the way down. Okay. We're going to do some squats now, so you can kind of choose how deep you want to take these squats. So let's take our feet slightly wider than hip width apart. I'm going to turn to the side. So slightly wider than hip width apart. Let's just practice the squats first before we add the ball. So you remember that we're going to sit back like we're going to sit down on a chair. So you're sticking your bottom out behind you. We don't want that bum tucking under and round in, yeah? So kind of find that squat position and just do a few there. Sticking your bottom out, pushing through your heels as you come back up to standing. Yeah, are we good with that? Are we good with that? And then all we're going to do is hold the ball out. Okay, let's do some squats here. So squat back, keep that ball forwards, reaching forwards. Yeah, you've got it. Go at your own pace. Taking that squat as deep as feels okay for you, but don't force anything. Yeah. Good job. 1 more like this. Good, all right, we're going to squat and hold this time. So squat and hold. And you take that ball overhead and then bring it back to shoulder height. We're staying in the squat, lift the ball up and back to shoulder high. Good, and again, up and lower and up and low. Can you do 2 more? Up and low, getting warm now. Last one, up and low. Push through your heels, come all the way back up. Woo. Give your legs a little shake. Give your shoulders a little shake. Good job. We're going to stay with the squats, but this time we're going to put the ball between our knees. So, ball cushion, whatever you've got, pop it between your knees. Okay, and we're just going to squat here. So the goal here is to stop your knees from rolling out, to stop your knees kind of from moving anywhere. They've got to stay in this position. Just have a look at the outside edges of your feet. Now as we squat here, if it bothers your knees, you can turn your feet out a little bit. But if you can do it with them straight, even better. Okay, you can bring your arms out in front as you squat back if you want to. Sometimes that just helps with your balance a little bit. Same squat, sticking your bottom out behind you like you're going to sit down in that chair. Good. Two more. One more time. And come all the way up. Really good. Pop your ball down between your ankles now. Maybe have it just above your ankle, just so that it's not kind of touching the floor, whatever you're holding. We're going to do heel raises here. And we're going to see if we can keep hold of that ball. This will test whether your ankles roll out to the sides, won't it? Rising up onto the balls of your feet, can you keep hold? And then lower down with control. Yeah, you can. Let's do that a few times. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Really good. Keep going. As you come up this time, can you hold it? Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower with control. Let's do that again. Can you come up and hold it? And hold for 5. Oh, I can't. 4. Oh dear. 3, 2, and 1. And lower. The trick with balance is to find something to focus on that's not moving. So don't be looking at me. Come up again and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and all the way down. Good job, bring that ball out. Oh, give your legs a little shake. Woo! I think we're warm. I think we've kind of warmed everything up a little bit. We're going to come down onto the floor now. So come down onto your back, and don't forget to bring your ball with you. Lie down on your back, lifting your hips, and placing that ball under your pelvis. And then we're just going to hang out here for a few breaths, just allowing you to get your breath back. And if you do the trigger point stuff with me, you're used to this kind of stuff anyway, so it doesn't feel too strange. And then just to get us used to being on the ball, we're just going to tilt our pelvis forwards and backwards a few times. So do it with your breath as you exhale, tilt your pelvis towards you so that your pubic bone is higher than your hip bones. And then as you inhale, roll the other way. So just moving with the flow of your breath. We're going to try and keep our pelvis super still here. So try not to let your pelvis tip back. Can you bring one leg into that tabletop position? And then lower it down. Try the other side. Don't let your pelvis move. Can you bring that leg into a tabletop position? And lower it down. Good. And we're going to keep going. We're going to keep switching sides. And the way that really helps you is to move with your breath. So as you lift that leg, exhale there. And inhale as you lower. So exhale as you lift. Inhale as you lower. The work is on the lift. And we want to concentrate that work on those abdominals and not on the pelvis rolling back, yeah? Two more here. Okay, and then we're going to bring one leg up and hold it there. Have your arms down by your sides to give you a little bit of balance and support. Can you bring that second leg up as well? Good job. We're going to go for toe taps now. So on your next in-breath, lower one leg down to tap your toes on the floor, and then exhale to bring that leg back in. Inhale, lower the leg, tap the toes. Exhale, bring it back in. And we're going to keep going again here. You can really press your arms down into the floor to give you some stability and some support if you need it. Your abdominals are working super hard to try and stabilise and hold you here. So we're just tilting our pelvis towards us and away. Just allowing our body to relax here a little bit and just get used to that sensation of having that ball under your pelvis. And then we're going to come to rest in that neutral position, so your pelvis is pretty level here. And from here we're going to go into our single knee fold. So we're going to just bring one leg up, trying to keep your pelvis still, and then lower it down. Use your breath. So take a breath in and exhale as you bring the leg up. Inhale as you lower. Switching sides. Exhale to bring the leg up. And inhale to lower. Trying to keep that pelvis from tilting as you lift the leg. You don't want your pelvis to roll back. So just doing a few of those here, letting your body get used to this movement. And then bringing your arms down by your sides, and if it feels okay, as you bring your leg into tabletop, this time we're going to hold it and then bring that second leg up. We're going to go to toe taps now. So as you take a breath in, we're going to lower one leg down to tap the toes on the floor, and then exhale to bring that leg back up. Inhale as you lower, exhale as you lift, and again keep switching sides. If you feel really wobbly, like you're going to fall off your ball, go back to just doing that single knee fold, so you've always got one foot on the floor. And they're just options, little variations that you can do just to challenge yourself. Good, okay. And then this time as you lower one leg down, we're going to keep that leg down on the floor, and we're going to straighten this other leg up towards the sky, and we're going to flex our foot. So push the heel away, pull the front of the foot towards you, and then point. So we're going to flex and point that foot a few times. And then we're just going to switch legs and do the same on the other side. So bending that leg in, switching sides, again straightening this leg up this time, and let's again point and flex here. Good, okay, we're going to take it into our single leg circle now. So we're going to turn that leg out slightly from the hip. Again, trying to keep our pelvis nice and level. We're going to inhale as we bring the leg across our body, and then exhale as we circle that leg down, around and up, pausing in the centre. Inhale, leg comes across. Exhale to circle down, around and up, and it's really wobbly now, so it's really difficult to keep your pelvis really still. But do your best, maybe making your circle a little bit smaller if you need to. And then we're going to do 5 in the opposite direction, still keeping that slight turn out. And then when you're ready, just bringing that leg all the way back in and placing that leg down. We're going to do the same on the other side. And straighten that leg up towards the sky, slightly turn it out. Have it as straight as you can manage, but you can have a bend if you need to. Let's go again. Inhale, leg comes across your body. Exhale to circle down, around and up. Keeping that level, neutral pelvis. Inhale across. Exhale to circle down, around and up. How much harder is it with a wobbly surface? You can really find those abdominals working in this one, can't you? When you've done your 5, remembering to reverse and go the other way. Good job. When you've done your 5 in each direction, you're just going to knee hug again. So if you're not there yet, don't worry. Just come when you're ready. And then if you feel okay, bring that second knee in as well. So we've got both knees in towards us, and we're just going to hold on to those knees here. Keeping hold of one leg, we're going to let the other leg come back down onto the floor again. And the leg that we've got hold of, we're going to take it up towards the sky, and we're going to have that foot flat. So flexing that foot, and we're going to lower that leg down, keeping it straight down towards the floor. Once it's gone as low as you feel that you can control it, you're going to point your toe, and you're going to lift that leg back up towards the sky. When you're up, you're going to flex your foot again, lead with your heel as you lower the leg down. And then you're going to point your toe and lift the leg back up. So see if you can keep your pelvis really still again here. So flat foot as you lower, pointed toe as you lift. Let's do 2 more like that. Flat foot to lower, point to lift. Good job. Let's do 1 more. Flat foot lower and point to lift. Good job. Bending that knee back in, placing that foot down. Let's do the same on the other side. So bringing the other leg in, straighten it out. And again, flat foot, we're going to lower that leg down. as far as you can control, and then point your toes, sweep it back up to the sky. Flat foot lower, pointed lift. Good. And again, you can play with the range here. If you feel that if you take your leg too low to the floor that your pelvis starts to tilt the other way, just don't go quite as low. Really nice, 2 more. Good job. And then when you finish, lowering that leg all the way back down to the floor. Good job. We're going to come off the ball now, so push into your heels, lift your hips, take your ball, your cushion, whatever you're using, away, and just hold there for a moment. If you want to, you can straighten your legs out long and just enjoy for a moment that feeling of relaxation around your lower back, around your pelvis. And just take a couple of breaths. Okay, we're going to go back to knees bent, feet flat. And we're going to pop the ball between our knees now. So we're going to start with just that knee squeeze, so taking a breath here, and as you exhale, squeeze those knees together, and as you inhale, release. And we're going to do that a few times, just moving with the flow of your breath, squeezing on your exhale, releasing on your inhale. Excuse me. 2 more. And then this time I want you to squeeze the ball and just keep a little light pressure on that ball. And we're going to do a little spine twist here. So taking your arms out to that T position and allow your knees to roll to one side. Keep a little pressure, a little squeeze of the ball as you come in through centre and over to the other side. Again, in through centre and over. So do that a couple of times. Now you can feel free to stay here with your feet down on the floor, or if it feels okay, we're going to bring those legs into tabletop and do the same thing here. Both knees are going to roll to one side, in through centre and over to the other side. So don't go too far. Keep it very small to begin with. See if you can keep your back of your rib cage and your shoulder blades anchored on the floor. A lot of abdominal work again here. So see if you can really focus on your abdominals. So as your knees have gone to one side, rather than just using momentum and the weight of your legs to swing, think about using your abdominals. Think about bringing your rib, kind of the bottom of your rib cage and your waist down towards the floor first before the legs start to move. So just really slowing it down and just thinking about where you're initiating the movement from. And it should always be our abdominals. It should always be that core. So you can kind of bypass the core and just swing your legs side to side, but really slowing it down kind of takes that away and makes you work that little bit harder. Good. Alright, as you come in through centre this time, we're going to move the ball up towards our ankles now. So can you straighten those legs out and pop the ball between your ankles? Straight legs if you can, bent legs if you need to. Both of those are fine. We're going to do the same here. Don't go too far. Taking the legs over to one side, coming in through centre and then over to the other side. If it's too much, go back to your knees. Because straightening those legs out really increases the load that your abdominals are having to now carry and having to draw back in through centre. Again, nice and slow, nice and controlled so that you can't fling. Good. One more to each side. Okay. And then holding in centre. Can you bring those legs up high enough so that you can reach your ball or your cushion, whatever you've got with your hands? Can you grab it with your hands? And then we're going to take the arms overhead towards the floor behind us and lower your legs. Don't lower them too far, just going to go maybe to that 45-degree angle. Then we're going to bring the ball back up towards the sky. We're going to bring the legs up and place the ball between your ankles again. Can you grab the ball between your ankles and then lower the ankles down towards the floor? Don't go too far. Bring the ball back up towards the sky. Grab the ball. Take the ball overhead with your arms. Again, lowering the legs just a smidge. They don't have to go too low. It's a real big challenge for your abdominals. Bringing the legs back up, bringing the ball back up. And you can see we're just switching from arms to legs. So obviously the lower you take the legs and the arms, the more work for your abdominals. So don't go too far. Good job. Can you do one more time? Anybody else got the tremor of truth? And then finishing, whether you've got your ball in your arms or your legs, just bring everything in through centre. Give your knees a little hug and let's just rock gently side to side. Now that was a challenge, wasn't it? Coordination, mind, definitely abdominals. Okay, so just having a moment here, a little reset, letting your abdominals relax. Definitely deserve a little relax. So we're going to do our spine curl next, and we're going to pop the ball back between our knees. So let's take the feet back down to the floor, feet and knees, hip width apart, and then pop your ball or your cushion between your knees. And then I want you to just a hold of that ball. You're not like trying to crush it, but just some activation there. And you can feel as soon as you squeeze, it kind of switches on those inner thighs. So inner thighs are working here. Arms are down by your sides, just making sure you've got nothing under your head for this exercise. Take a breath. Tilt your pelvis towards you and exhale as you roll up. Lifting your hips up towards the sky. Pausing at the top for a breath and then exhaling as you roll down. Again, just trying to keep that little gentle squeeze on the ball. Now, if it really bothers your knees, take the ball away. Otherwise, we're going to keep going. If you're really, really tight through your quads, sometimes it just kind of makes the quads even angrier. So if it bothers your knees, you can get rid of the ball. And we're going to roll up and down a few times here, keeping your eyes straight above, looking at your ceiling. As you roll gently up and down, little gentle squeeze of the knees. Just kind of keeping that hold the whole time. Good job. Okay, now as you roll up this time, we're going to stay at the top. So once you get up to the top, hold it there. So we're going to stay up and we're going to do those little pulse squeezes with our knees here. Okay, so can you squeeze, release, squeeze, release. Keep going. Keep breathing as normal. Again, you can kind of tune it with your breath. You can exhale as you squeeze, inhale as you release. But we're going to speed it up in a second. We're going to do 2 more like this. And then we're going to do those little tiny pulses. We're going to do 10. Let's go. Squeeze for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold and squeeze. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Still squeezing. Another breath in, and as you exhale, let's roll all the way down. Once your bottom is down, bring those knees in. Give your knees a little hug and let's just rock gently side to side. Whew. Makes it more work, doesn't it? Kind of helps you to find those glutes maybe a little bit more. Okay, so while we've got those knees in, we're going to place our cushion or our ball behind the knees now. So we're going to have the legs really close together to have them behind your knees now. And then have your arms down by your sides again, just to give you that little bit of support. Now we're going to see if we can keep hold of the ball and tap our toes down on the floor. Can you lower the toes down just to tap the floor and then bring them back up into that tabletop-ish position? Okay, let's go again. Lowering down to tap and then bringing them all the way back up. Yeah, inhale as you lower the legs. Exhale as you come back up. Now if it's making your back arch, it's making your pelvis tilt, don't go all the way to the floor. Just kind of go to where you can control your pelvis and it's not rocking. Of course, you can always use your little kickstand with your hands under there. You can always grab a towel and pop a towel under there, just to try and hold your pelvis still so that the pelvis isn't rocking and rolling. Good job. Can you do 2 more? And then again, we're going to bring the knees in. We're going to hold there. Take the ball out from behind your knees. Give your knees a little hug. Again, just a little reset here. Okay, we're going to pop the ball between our ankles, but I want you to think about being a frog. So I want you to kind of have your heels in and your toes out and your knees out wide. So kind of find that frog position, but you're holding onto your ball with your cushion there. Arms down by your sides. We're going to do a little froggy press. So we're going to straighten those legs out away from us, keeping hold of your ball, and then bend them back in. A little frog press. Again, press away, kind of squeeze the ball, and then bend to come back in. Good. And again, you're in charge. You can take the legs as high or as low as you want to. The higher up you take the legs, the easier it is, the less load there is for your abdominals. In an ideal world, you'd be going out at kind of that 45-degree position. But if that makes your pelvis tip, or it makes your abdominals bald, just go a little higher. Good job. Press. And back in. Can you do 2 more? Good job. Alright, and then as you take your legs out long this time, we're going to lift the legs up towards the sky. So we're kind of still in that frog turn, that position, our legs are up towards the sky. Lower down just an inch and lift back up to the sky. We're going to lower and lift here. Lower and lift. In that little turned out position, lower and lift. Pelvis stay still, don't let it rock and roll. Good job. Doesn't have to be a big movement. It's a lot of work. 2 more little lower lifts here. Last one. Oh. And then bend in. Give your knees a little hug and just rock gently side to side. Woo. Okay. Who knew there were so many tortures you could do with a ball? We're going to roll onto our side now. Excuse me. And we're going to do the clam with the ball. So we're going to have the knees bent. And we're going to place the ball, the cushion between our knees, and you can be down on your elbow, just find the position that works for you. Okay, so it's slightly different because we've got something obviously between our knees. So this time we're going to we're going to lift the foot and we're going to turn the leg in. So we're kind of like internally rotating that top leg and then go back into your start position. So again, kind of turning that thigh bone in and then back into your start position. Yeah. A reverse climb. Still want our pelvis to stay pretty still, so just think about that thigh bone rolling in the hip socket rather than your whole pelvis having to shift. Good job. 2 more like that. Really good. Okay, and then we're going to place the ball between our ankles and then we're going to straighten those legs out. Now this one is a little bit of a tricky, challenging one. If you need to, you can bring the legs forwards a little bit or you can keep them out long. We're going to see if we can lift both legs off the floor. So you might only lift like an inch and then lower. And I find this one super difficult. So we're keeping hold of our ball or our cushion and we're trying to lift both legs and lower. Some people find it easier than others, and I really think it depends on the shape of your pelvis and your hips. Good job. Doesn't matter even if it's an inch, even if you're not lifting off the floor, but you're kind of doing that as if you're about to lift off the floor, that's enough to work and activate. Can you do 2 more? And lift and lower. And then just bend those knees in. We're going to go over onto our other side. Switching sides. Finding that clam again. So whatever you're using between your knees. Make sure that your pelvis is happy, hip bones are stacked as always. And again, it's that rolling in of that top leg, so the lower leg kind of lifts as we turn that leg in, and then it goes back into that centre position. Good. So keeping a little bit of a squeeze on that ball the whole time. Mind sometimes want it to roll away and escape. Yeah, you got it. Last one here. And then as you lower your leg, again we're going to place the ball between our ankles. And then straighten those legs out. We're going to again try and lift and lower those legs. And you might find one side is easier than the other. This side is a little bit easier for me. Still keeping that little bit of a pressure, still keeping hold of the ball. Good. Are you holding your breath? Make sure you breathe in. One more time. And then lowering those legs down. Woo! We're just going to come up and stretch the hips out. So just come up, we're just going to do a normal hip stretch. Come on up to seated for a minute. Pop your ball down for a minute. We're going to do both sides. So start whichever side you want to. Bringing one leg in. Crossing it over. Sit tall. Twisting towards that bent leg and scooping that knee in towards your chest. Let's just hold for a few breaths here. And then when you're ready, release that leg and just do exactly the same on the other side. Bringing the leg in, crossing it over, sit tall and twist. Okay, so we're going to go onto our front next. Bring your trusty ball with you. And we're going to lie all the way down. So we're going to have the arms reaching out in front and holding onto your ball. Excuse me. You can have your legs together or hip width apart. As always, pubic bone is anchored, tailbone is slightly tucked. Now I'm going to keep my head up just so you can hear me, but you can rest your forehead down on the floor or have it just hovering off the floor if that feels better for you. So we've got those arms out in front, we're holding that ball out in front, but notice if your shoulders are just about touching your ears. Can you think about drawing your armpits down towards your waist so that you've got a little bit of space there? And then keeping your head super still. Can you see if you can just lift the ball off the floor and then lower it back down? So we're just going to lift and lower the ball off the floor and back down. I'm going to do that a few times. Good, 2 more like that. And then as you lower down this time, we're just going to stay down for a moment. Just have a little breather, a little reset. Now this time as you lift the ball, we're going to see if we can also lift our head away from the floor. Now if it's too much to lift the head as well, you can just stay with just lifting the ball. But when you're ready, let's see if we can lift the ball and lift the head. So you're coming up into a little back extension, and then we're going to lower back down. Try that again. When you're ready, can you lifting your head and chest away, and then lowering down. So it's quite a lot, and if it's too much, just lift the arms. And again, it doesn't matter if you're only lifting a millimetre off the floor, or if you're not lifting at all but you're getting ready to, that's still good. Can you just do one more like that? And then relax down again. Just have a little moment there. Now I want you to take your ball in one hand, and then I want you to take that ball out to the side and then bring it across your back, so that ball's going to come across your lower back. You're going to take your other hand behind now to grab that ball, and then you're going to bring that ball around the side and back to the front. So we've just gone in a big circle, we're going to do that again. So taking hold of the ball with the first hand again, taking the ball out to the side, taking it around your back. You're going to take the other hand back, grab the ball, and bring it back to the front again. Doing that again. Grab the ball in front, take it behind your back, other hand's going to take it from your back and bring it back around to the front. Alright, let's do that one more time. And then just passing the ball around the circle. So it's really good for your shoulder mobility. Pause when the ball comes in front again, And we're just going to reverse that circle, go the other way. So the other arm this time is going to take it behind your back. You're going to grab it and bring it back to the front. So we just reverse that little circle. Good. Last time. Alright, and then as that ball comes to the front again, let the ball go and then just push yourself up and back to find that child's pose, find that rest position, and let's just give our back a little stretch out here. Holding in that child's pose for a few breaths. Okay, now it might be easy to do this before we come back down the front. So we're going to be back on our front again, but we're going to have the ball between our ankles. So it might be easier to do that while you're kind of seated and then come down onto your front. So counting your ankles or your feet, wherever you can kind of get hold of it. And then you can rest your forehead down on your hands this time. And we're going to do our hip extension. Now, I want you to be really mindful of this because if you just dump into your lower back, it's going to really aggravate and annoy your lower back. So we're going to anchor the pubic bone, we're going to tuck the tailbone so that we've got length in the lower back, and we're going to really concentrate on our bottom and the back of our thigh as we kind of lift the ball just off the floor and then lower down. If it goes straight into your back, really anchor that pelvis, find that tilt, find that tuck, and hold it as you lift and lower. And again, if you can't lift off the floor, even just that movement as though you're just about to is enough to start to build the strength there. And you lift and lower. And if again your back's really wanting to do the work, you can't find it in your bottom, squeeze your bottom a little bit. You know, like, remember how we say you're holding a walnut? Can you give your butt just a little bit of activation, just to remind it it's supposed to be doing the work and not your back? Yeah? Can you do two more little lifts here? One more little lift here. And then relax down. Just rock your hips gently side to side. Alright, when you're ready, push yourself again up and back into that child's pose, into that rest position. And just take a few breaths there. Good. Okay, we're going to come up to seated now. And we're going to sit with our legs out in front and legs together. So if you're feeling really tight through your hamstrings today, you can have a little bend in your knees, that's fine. Or you can sit on something to give you a little bit of height. So feel free to you're trying to find your sit bones and a straight back, yeah? So do what you need to kind of get that. And have your ball, trusty ball nearby. Okay, and we're going to do a little bit of a spine twist here. So starting in centre, we're going to inhale, we're going to grow really tall. And as you exhale, we're going to twist to one side and we're going to bring our ball or our cushion down to touch the floor. Inhale, we're going to come up through centre, grow tall, and exhale, twist, and again, can you bring your ball, your cushion down to the floor? Inhale, come through centre, and exhale, twist. Tapping the ball down each time, bringing the ball through centre. Okay, we're just going to keep going, so just go at your own pace. And you can kind of take that ball as far to the side as you want to. You could reach it as far forwards as you want to. You can really play with the range here. So as we're twisting, we're trying to keep those legs from twisting. Sometimes the legs will want to go, and we're going to try and keep those legs nice and still. If your legs are out long, can you flex those feet, pushing out through your heels, pulling the front of the foot towards you as you twist from side to side. Good. One more time. Alright, and then coming up, we're going to take the legs wide now. So take your legs a little bit wider than your mat. And again, we're trying to sit up tall. We're going to have that ball out in front. We're going to round forwards here. So we're going to inhale, take a deep breath. Nudge your chin towards your chest. And as you exhale, we're going to reach that ball forwards. Reaching forwards. Forwards as far as you can. And then take a breath in, and we're going to come all the way back up to seated. Now you've got a couple of options with this. You can keep your back flat and hinge forwards, or you can round forwards. Either of those are fine. And maybe try a combination of both. Maybe try doing one and then the other. So when you're ready, starting again, inhale, grow tall. Look your chin towards your chest, and then choosing to either hinge forwards, keeping that flat back reaching forwards, or round forwards. And let's do a few of those. And both of those are really nice movements. And quite challenging. Keeping that ball in your hands and keeping that ball reaching forwards. One more time. And then coming up. And then just releasing down. Give your shoulders a little roll. We're going to go back down onto the floor now, and we're going to pop the ball back under our pelvis again. So when you're ready, make your way back down onto the back. We're going to use it for nice things now. We're going to use it to relax a little bit. So popping it under the back of your pelvis again here. We're going to go back to that little tilt again here. So again, just moving with your breath as you exhale. Tilt your pelvis towards you as you inhale, finding that neutral position again. Just gently rolling forwards and backwards here. And then when you come to that kind of neutral position again, where that pelvis is level, we're just going to stay here. And we're going to take some deep breaths. To imagine that your weight is sinking down into that ball, your pelvis is anchored and heavy. The ball is fully supporting your weight, so you're not needing to push through your feet, you're not needing to grip anywhere, you can be pretty relaxed here. Excuse me. So while you're here, just doing that little scan through your body, noticing if you are gripping and holding tension anywhere. So checking your space between your eyebrows. Can you relax your forehead? Can you relax the muscles around your eyes? Softening your face. Relaxing your jaw. Letting your neck and shoulders just relax. Just soften everything that's just holding anything, let it go. And imagine that with each exhale you're sinking deeper down onto that ball. Alright, we're going to take the ball away, so push into your heels and lift your bottom up and just allow your bottom to come back down to the floor and maybe straightening out those legs. And let's just hold here for a few breaths. And then we're going to put the ball behind us, and it's going to go really low down, just beneath your shoulder blades, or kind of just under your bra strap, where that would kind of be. So just kind of beneath your shoulder blades, like right at the bottom of your rib cage. And then you're going to support your head with your hands. So let's have the hands behind the head. And we're going to again just allow our body to release down into the ball. The ball's going to support you, or the cushion, whatever you're using. It's going to support you here. And you can let your head rest heavy in your hands. And have your eyes looking ahead. So rather than looking up to the sky, kind of looking towards your knees so that you've got that length through the back of your neck. And then you might want to to just stay here and just hold this position, or maybe it feels nice to start to extend back. So you're starting to take your head back over the ball towards the floor and then coming back up towards the sky. So you're just doing a real gentle little back extension the opposite way and coming back up. So this is a really nice way to release tension around the thoracic spine, so around that upper back. We're getting some work there, we're doing a little bit of extension, but using the pressure of something there, so like a cushion or a ball, just really helps to release. Also, if you don't like that feeling of going back, you can just choose to hold here. And if you're doing that little bit of extension, as you come up this time, we're going to just hold again. We're going to move the ball up a little bit now, so it's going to kind of go a little bit higher. Think about between your shoulder blades, and again the ball's quite big, so it's kind of covering a bigger area than you know. I'm saying it's not just going to be between your shoulder blades, but kind of find it that little bit higher up. And again, support your head in your hands. And you might choose to stay still here, or again, just doing that little bit of extending back and then coming back up. So completely up to you, what feels right for you. And if you're doing that extending back and coming up, you're just going to hold when you get to the top this time. Good. And then we're going to take that ball out from behind us and just again lie yourself all the way down. You can have legs long or you can have your knees bent. And let's just hold here for a couple of breaths. Just noticing how the back of your body feels against the floor. Hopefully it feels like it's kind of melting into the floor a little bit. Maybe you find that the rib cage and the shoulder blades are much easier to bring down to anchor onto the floor. Maybe you feel like the whole of your spine is now touching the floor. A couple more breaths here. And then we're going to pop the ball behind our neck. Next. So placing the ball, so it's not under your head, it's behind your neck. Okay, and if you've got a cushion, it's probably going to be head on neck. So, holding there. And again, you're just letting your head just be super heavy. Your neck doesn't have to work to hold it up because you've got that support of your cushion or your ball. And we're going to go back to that sensation of sinking down. So with each exhale, imagine that you're sinking deeper into your ball. Do your little scan again, noticing if you're gripping any tension in your jaw, your forehead, are you frowning, you soften your face, let your neck and shoulders relax. And then you might choose to just keep still here because this just feels like this is where you need to be. Or we're going to start to really slowly turn our head to one side. So lead with your nose. I want you to go really slowly. And you start to turn your head to one side, going as slow as you can. So that if someone was watching you, they would barely see you moving because you're going super slow. And you're going to turn your head as far as you can to one side. Super slow, giving time for your neck to relax and to release. And once you've gone as far as you can to that one side, you're just going to hold it there. And then when you're ready, you're going to start to slowly bring your head back in through centre. Again, super slow. The slower you can go, the more relaxation there is going to be for all of those little tiny muscles, supporting your head, and your neck, and your shoulders. Once you've brought your head back in through centre, you're going to go the other way. You can think about leading with your nose, and going super, super slow. Again, once you've gone as far as you can that side, you're just going to hold it there for a couple of breaths. And then when you feel ready, start to slowly, slowly come back up to centre. And then we're just going to stay in centre when you get there. And just take a few more breaths here. And then we're going to take that ball away. Just pop it out from behind your head and allow yourself to lie all the way down on the floor. Again, you can straighten your legs out again here if you want to. And just notice how your body feels. Maybe gently turning your head side to side here. See how your neck feels. And then moving slowly, but when you're ready, come on up to find a seated position. Don't rush. Take your time. Excuse me. Just come on up to seated for a moment. And then let's just gently roll our shoulders. And roll the other way. Let's turn our head to one side and then to the other, a couple of times. You guys are done.